Let's be real for a second. Your photos, your work files, your private messages, so much of your life is just out there in the cloud. But have you ever really stopped to think about who's actually keeping all of that stuff safe? Well, today, we're going to demystify all of it and figure out who's really guarding your data. To get our heads around this, I want you to imagine the cloud as this massive, super high-tech apartment building. It's where you rent some space to store your entire digital life. It's super convenient, it's efficient, for sure, but it brings up a huge question. Who is in charge of security? Who's got the master keys? And who's supposed to be locking the doors at night?
Alright, so before we can even figure out who locks which doors, we gotta take a look at the master blueprint for this whole digital fortress.
At its core, cloud security is literally the complete security plan for the building. We're talking everything from the physical foundation to the security cameras in the hallways, all the way to the locks on the main entrance. And the goal is pretty straightforward. Keep your stuff private, make sure nobody can tamper with it, and, make sure you can actually get to it whenever you need it. It's the whole security shebang. Okay, and this brings us to what is without a doubt the most crucial part of cloud security, the shared responsibility model. The best way to think about it is like the lease agreement you sign for an apartment. It spells out in black and white exactly what the landlord is responsible for and what's on you, the tenant. Now, this agreement is simple, but it is so critical. Your cloud provider, think of them as the landlord, your AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. They are responsible for the security of the cloud. That means the physical building, the security guards, the core plumbing, and electricity. But you, the customer, you're responsible for security in the cloud. And that's everything inside your own apartment. Your data, who you decide to give keys to, the applications you're running. So let me say that again because it's that important. They secure the container, you secure what's inside. Okay, so if it's your job to secure your own personal space, what kind of tools do you actually have at your disposal? Let's break down how you can build your own digital defense shield layer by layer. So, the first and probably most important layer is protecting your actual valuables. And encryption is the #1 tool for this. It's basically like putting your most critical documents in jewelry inside a heavy-duty personal safe that you keep right inside your apartment. Even if someone manages to break into your apartment, they still can't get what's inside that safe. It's all about making your data totally unreadable to anyone who shouldn't be seeing it. Next up, you've got to control who gets into your apartment in the first place. This is what we call Identity and Access Management, or IAM. The absolute best way to do this is with multi-factor authentication, MFA. Think of it like this. You don't just need a key to open your door. You also need a fingerprint scan. It's that extra layer. And you also want to be smart about who you give keys to. You wouldn't give the plumber a key to your bedroom, right? Of course not. That's exactly what role-based and least privilege access are all about. Only giving people the bare minimum access they need to do their job and nothing more. And finally, you have to secure the apartment itself. We're talking the doors, the windows, and even the smart gadgets you have inside. Network security, using tools like firewalls, is all about putting strong deadbolt locks on your digital front door. Then you have application security, which is making sure that smart TV or security camera you installed doesn't have some hidden back door that a hacker could sneak through. It's about locking down every single possible entry point. So now that you know how to secure your apartment, what are the things you really need to watch out for? Let's take a look at the most common threats and the rules of the road that help keep everyone safe. When we look at where the real dangers are, the results are actually kind of surprising. Now, data breaches from, let's say, professional burglars. Yeah, that's the biggest threat. But look at that second largest slice right there, misconfigurations. That's just you forgetting to lock your door or leaving a window wide open. It turns out it's often the simple mistakes, not these super sophisticated attacks, that cause the most headaches. Account hijacking is basically someone stealing your keys, and malware is like getting tricked into letting a threat walk right in your front door. So, what does a practical checklist look like? Well, first, lock your doors properly with multi-factor authentication. It's a must. Second, put your valuables in a safe. Encrypt them. And check out numbers 3 and 5 here. Continuous monitoring and automated checks. That's like having your own security camera system that automatically pings you if you've accidentally left a window open. This is your day-to-day routine for staying safe. Lastly, just like any apartment building, there are rules everyone has to follow. These are what we call compliance standards. So, for example, GDPR protects user privacy in Europe. HIPAA protects health information in the US.
You should think of these as the mandatory fire codes and health regulations for your digital data. They are not optional, they're the law of the land.
So, after all this, what's the big takeaway? Well, cloud security isn't about building a prison for your data. It's about building a safe, secure home for it. Once you really understand your responsibilities and you start using the right tools, you can take full advantage of everything the cloud has to offer without putting your digital life at risk. It's an enabler, not a barrier.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Security isn't something you set up once and then forget about. It's a constant, ongoing process. The locks that are strong enough today might not hold up against the burglars of tomorrow. So the really crucial question isn't just, am I safe right now, but am I ready for what's coming next?